It's looking to be another big year for LEGO City. The summer lineup drops two of the most expensive LEGO City sets ever released. And there's quite the variety here with trains, good old police, Arctic Explorer, and most importantly, some brand new construction sets. And those are the ones I want to focus on today. Last year I made a video highlighting what I thought were two of the best LEGO City sets I had seen in ages, with the massive mobile crane and beautifully sculpted excavator. And ever since those released, I've been dreaming that LEGO would make more construction sets with this new color scheme and style. Turns out we didn't have to wait too long, because this summer we've got 3 sets that will be of interest to you construction fans out there. So hey, let's take a closer look. Thank you to LEGO for sending me these sets early to review. I believe the city sets are out in most regions at this point, but if they are not, I know a handful of these aren't dropping in the US at least until August 1st. The way LEGO's chosen to distribute these construction sets is quite interesting, as 2 of them are bundled in with larger sets. I was very intrigued by the City Tower, which seems to represent all of LEGO City's sub-themes within it somehow. It's about as chaotic as the equally massive downtown from 2 years ago, but I was really happy to see some construction represented in here. And that's of course with the tower crane. Now, this tower crane has nothing on the original building crane, one of the best LEGO City sets of all time, but I'm glad we're getting something. Though I do worry this means they might not be so eager to do a proper massive tower crane like the old one. I mean, look at these things side by side. The new one is rather laughable. What I think the new one does really well though is, first of all, the color swap is great. I really like this bright light orange on the new construction sets. It does feel really modern and sleek, and the roller coaster pieces making up the scaffolding exterior of the crane look fantastic. Once these things show up on Pick-a-Brick, I would be very interested in trying to make a tower crane the size of the old one. I think something like that could look really, really incredible. Even with its small size, it still does everything you'd want a crane like this to do. The boom can indeed extend, and naturally the whole thing can turn on the top too. Alongside the city tower, I think it looks perfectly respectable. Even besides these smaller vehicles here, I don't mind it so much. But it's once you get to the older sets that you realize, oh yeah, they don't make them like they used to. The other unexpected construction set appears in the heavy-duty tow truck, because it's this LEGO City construction flatbed truck that's in need of some heavy-duty towing. It's a very simple vehicle, but really well executed. It's smoothed off pretty much everywhere and features some unexpected details, considering that it's essentially the side build in the larger set. The bed tips, the front cab tips to reveal some nice engine detailing accomplished with roller skating pieces. There's room for 2 occupants in the cab, and I'm glad to actually see functional doors on this vehicle too. That's something that's omitted far too often from LEGO City sets. There's also some delightful little storage on the sides that houses some cones. Again, I probably wouldn't go after the entirety of the tow truck if all you want is this. It's probably going to be easy enough to piece together, as I imagine most, if not all, the parts are already on LEGO Pick-a-Brick. But the tow truck is fantastic as well. Hopefully I can do another video on that very, very soon. But the star of this show is the brand new bulldozer. And this was something I specifically was wishing for in last year's video, and LEGO wasted no time getting right to it. I mean, there are few more iconic construction vehicles than a bulldozer. In fact, the classic LEGO City bulldozer was one of my favorite sets back in the day. And so I think these are the perfect models to compare to each other. It'll become clear pretty early on that the older model is indeed quite a bit larger, though perhaps unsurprisingly uses far less pieces than the new model. This is by no means the only city bulldozer that's been released over the years, but I think it's the closest and the best here for comparison. It was originally released in 2009 and has 352 pieces, and it would have cost $40 back in 2009. Compare that to the 2025 one, which has nearly double the pieces at just under $700 and costs a whopping $65 in the US. It shouldn't be surprising at this point, but I'm continually amazed how LEGO can make smaller and smaller models with so many more pieces. I will say though, the results are pretty effective. Granted, a lot of the elements are simply these treads here. There has to be at least 100 of those in the set. Not that the older model was lacking for tread elements either, but look at the shaping of especially the scoop at the front, which uses a lot of small elements to get a really precise look that I do greatly appreciate. Both models, of course, this can be lifted up. One does so much more fluidly than the other. Yeah, points to the 2025 model, which is a really slick mechanism that just hops it into place with virtually no effort required. It's really cleverly designed. Another way that the new model improves on the old design is the treads. At the base of the treads, it uses rubber connections to make sure that even on a hard surface, these things roll flawlessly. The old model, if you push it down, it works pretty well, but otherwise not so much. This can glide along and get them rolling no problem, and I do really appreciate that extra attention to detail. One thing I wasn't so sure about when I first saw the new bulldozer was what's going on in the back. So I did a little bit of research, and it turns out this is very much a part of regular bulldozers. It's called the Ripper, and what it does is dig into the ground to help tear up hardened soil, making it easier to doze over later. In fact, the mechanism actually does extend beyond the tread, so if you were bold enough to take this into the sandbox or something, you could actually rip up real sediment, which I think is fantastic. No such feature on the older bulldozer, but I'm not really going to count that against it either. When it comes to the detailing, actually, especially in the engine area, both models do a great job. I had a lot of fun piecing together the old 2009 sets. It just uses a ton of fun and unique elements that you wouldn't expect from a city set from this era. There's also a hatch in the front that opens up to reveal a giant spinning fan, which is really neat. But once again, I've got to hand it to the new model because there's some functionality incorporated in here. Because as you move the model along, pistons actually go up and down in the engine, and it also features a similar fan-like element at the front that spins automatically when you push the model along. That's really cool. There's definitely more room though in the 2009 model. The driver gets a very spacious cab to operate the machinery from, complete with 2 functional levers and a control panel, as well as functional doors on both sides too, the same element that we saw earlier with that flatbed truck. There are fewer luxuries in the new model, mainly due to the lack of space. It's still easy to access and get a figure in there, but the levers have been replaced with the 1x1 rounded tile with the bar on it. It's just not as awesome as the huge cab in this model. All around though, the new model really does show how 16 years of development and improvements with the LEGO parts portfolio can have a pretty drastic effect on a model. It's got some crazy shapes and angles here, and again, I really do prefer the new color scheme over the old one. I just love the refinement here. It's really cool. But there will always be a place in my heart for this beautiful model. And come on, you can't beat the size. The old sets always have that going for them. The building crane, the massive dump truck, and then one set that I really need to get my hands on at some point, this crazy ultra heavy loader thing. It's like 3 feet long. Absolutely ridiculous. So awesome. So yeah, as a grown 26-year-old man, I'm still really excited about the future of LEGO City construction. There's something so endlessly charming about these types of vehicles, and I'm absolutely loving what this new era of LEGO City construction continues to bring to the table. So what do I want to see for next year? I think there's 2 big ones that we really have to hit. That's gonna be a dump truck for sure. I can't imagine we'll get one this big, but a guy can dream. And the other vehicle that I think is really essential is going to be a steamroller. Getting both of those with the new color scheme would be absolutely fantastic. And I will always hold out hope that we get a proper standalone giant building crane again. I'm not crazy, right? That everyone wants that. Right? I feel like even modular building fans would love something like that too, to get something in progress, you know? I feel there's a lot of potential with a set like that. Anyways, let me know what you think of the new city construction sets, and let me know what your wish list for next year's sets might be. Genuinely, I'll pass your ideas along to LEGO. I really want to see more of these sets. These just make me feel like a kid again. They're really, really fun. But anyway, I hope you have yourself a fantastic life, and I'll see you again soon.